Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there, Collector Steven here, and I am bringing you yet another horror action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at NECA's video game appearance 8-bit Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th video game. And no, not the most recent one, the one from way back in the day. Now, the interesting thing about this one is there are two different versions of this figure. There is one that was originally released as an SDCC exclusive, which was actually the very first, if I do believe, video game appearance figure, and then there's this one, which is a GameStop exclusive released in early 2019, which has a couple of things different to it. This one has blue paint instead of glow-in-the-dark parts, a couple more accessories, and a really neat box. That being said, though, some folks hunted down the original. They don't need this one, and, well, it's a purple Jason. Kind of a hard sell. Well, let's take a look to see whether or not he's worth adding into your collection. Those of you who don't know this, NECA has a rather simple formula. If they're able to reuse parts and repaint a figure in any way, chances are they will do it. And here we have the Part 3, I believe it is, Jason repainted yet again for a matching video game appearance figure with the, at the time, recently released video game appearance, Freddy Krueger. Yeah, pretty cool to have both of those on the shelves at GameStop at the same time, so this way folks could have a Freddy versus Jason display, but in video game format. Now, that being said, this version of Jason actually does look pretty cool. We are going to have the all-purple paint for the main body with the hands, a little bit of the forearms, and the boots painted blue alongside the infamous hockey mask. Now, his head is going to be purple along with his neck, which is kind of a weird choice because that's his skin. You think that would be painted blue as well, but his eyes are actually painted a little pink. Now, of course, it isn't just going to be straightforward, just blue and purple paint. We are going to have a few of the folds in his clothing and a couple of divots here and there on Jason outlined or panel lined. I don't know, in black paint to really enhance some of the details, since it's kind of hard to make them out on an all-purple canvas, so to speak. All in all, Jason's sculpt does look great, and the paint application on this one is pretty rock solid. There's no real quality control issues such as lumpy paint. Apparently, for the very first release of this figure, there were some issues with inconsistent purple paint applications across it, some being a little thicker, some being a little darker, but here, that's not the case. Jason looks rather consistent. As I made mention, this is a repaint of the Part 3 Jason, so the articulation is going to be the same as the sculpt, or if you have Part 4, Dream Sequence, basically any of the older Jasons, yep, the articulation is going to be the same. So Jason's head plugs in on a peg, and then that peg plugs into the neck on a ball joint. So just so I can demonstrate the range, I'm going to take the mask off so that way the straps don't break. So you can see how Jason's head moves. Pretty good. Twist and turn it from side to side, get it to rock. You can sort of do the Michael Myers head tilt, all that good stuff there. Pretty good range of movement. We do have a swivel at the shoulders and then a hinge, so this way we can raise and lower his arms and move them in and out. Now, the portion of his shirt that's on his torso, it's made of a rubber-like material, a softer plastic. So this way, if you move his arm and it would run into the shirt, don't worry, it's not going to block the articulation. It'll just bend it a little bit. You can also sort of see me demonstrate that a little bit here when I move the upper portion of his torso, yet the shirt does not move at all on his body there. So we do have the archaic single hinge elbow with a swivel. So yeah, NECA really needs to update that. I'm sure in the next couple years we're going to get yet another Part 3 Jason of some sort after the whole licensing issue is taken care of, where there's going to be a double hinged elbow, but it is what it is. And then both wrists feature ball jointed movement. So this way you can move the hands around in basically any direction you need pretty well enough. Do we have any sort of ab crunch? No, we do not, but we do have a waist joint where we can twist and turn Jason. The only concern here, let's listen real close. There's a click on mine, so I would imagine it's pretty tight. But when I move it safely, Jason does have a fantastic range of movement. So yeah, you can get him to go in all sorts of different poses with this. Now for the hips, we are going to have swivels to move them forward and back about that far forward, that far back safely because his whole crotch region there is made of a soft plastic, just like his shirt. Then we have hinges, so this way we can move the legs out to the side like that. And then we do also have thigh swivels, so this way we can twist and turn the legs. We do have single hinge knees with a swivel to them as well. And then it seems like this Jason is going to have ball jointed ankles, and they don't really want to move too well for me, so they're pretty much just static. So yeah, overall the articulation isn't necessarily great, but at the same time, we can get Jason into some neat poses. But they do have to update that articulation sooner rather than later. And no, the Mezco isn't that much better, it looks like. Accessories time, and let's be honest here, that hockey mask, it's not really an accessory. That's an integral part of Jason, so we're not going to include that here. You already saw that anyway. Now, for the accessories that Jason does come with, he is going to come with his infamous machete, and it is all one solid color for the blade. There's no sort of, let's say, paint shading on it, except the light can play a trick on it where it actually looks like the sharp portion of it is painted a little bit of a different color, but realistically speaking, I think it's all just going to be one color there. The handle on it is also brown. It does look pretty cool. It does have some sculpt marks on it, so yay. Jason is also going to come with an axe. It's not something he is really well known for in pop culture, but hey, he does get another weapon that he is known to use, and if he's going to dual wield or I don't know, whatever you want to do with it, you can have that option. This Jason also does come with a video game appearance, Pamela Voorhees head. The Part 2 Jason did come with this, so it's pretty cool to see a repaint, and also the fact that we do get 2-in-1 here. For those of you who didn't know, Pamela was actually a boss in the original Friday the 13th game, and from what I've seen, she was a total pain to kill. So, yeah, you get two main bosses here. There's one issue with the floating Pamela Voorhees head. The support stand that it comes with actually is, at least on mine anyway, kind of warped. So she doesn't want to stay standing or floating. The support stand does not want to support the head it is supposed to support. So whenever anyone walks past my shelves and there's a little bit of a shaky on the top, it falls over and then it knocks anything else over, or even here. Yeah, so kind of a pain. Just make sure you are displaying it in a spot that is secure. Now for the last bit of accessories, the box. Well, okay, what happened to the audio? Well, I just want to take a look at the box here and the one feature that it has. It is a sound feature. Some people may accuse me of doctoring this section, so I'm just going to do raw camera audio. So, as you open up the box, you get the theme to play. We'll take a high-quality studio listen to that in a second. But what's interesting is even though it says open flap to play authentic theme music, lights off, not the case. You don't need the box to be open, technically, to play the music. You just need light. Now, with that being said, I know all of you want to hear the theme from that box played on your speakers with a nice microphone going through an audio interface and some natural clean gain boosting. So I went ahead, I mic'd up the little speaker that's on the box with my microphone here, and here is pretty much the cleanest audio recording I could get of the theme. So yeah, enjoy. So all in all, for accessories here, I would have to say that maybe a wounded Jason head would be cool as an accessory. Maybe a wounded mask as well, just because, you know, a little extra is always better. But still, For the MSRP of about 25 bucks, yeah, I'd say we do get enough here. But of course, if you want more stands, effect parts, whatever, I got videos to help you out. Now we're going to go ahead and round out the review with a size comparison alongside the video game appearance Freddy Krueger, because let's be honest, if you're going to get this one, you probably should pick up the other one as well, considering it's basically a glorified accessory for Jason here. And as you can see, Jason will fit in relatively well with your already established horror or video game collection. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. This figure came out some time ago, was a GameStop exclusive, and it was in high demand. So even though the intro was just a tad bit misleading, yeah, a lot of folks really do like this one because, like I made mention, the original VGA Jason was a hot commodity and was an SDCC exclusive. Yeah, a recipe for collector disaster if you're looking to pick it up. So this repaint, reissue, upgraded deluxe version, whatever you want to call it, yeah, it tickled a lot of collectors' fancy. So if you're still looking to get this, they may still be floating out there at GameStop stores, but you may have to go there and have one called in from another location like I did, which that is something, at least at the time of this review, you can do. But if you do it, I do recommend doing it sooner rather than later, so this way, yeah, you get it. This is a pretty fun figure. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for STR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.